is a mere entity within the whole of life. This is a fundamental Buddhist idea. The use of transient dreams can be interpreted as expressing the illusion that there exists a self, or the I think therefore I am theory illusion. Basho refers to these feelings as dreams, brushing them off as nothing but the mind guarding itself from seeing the true path. Dreams interrupt reality, as does the idea that there are individual souls. To wake from the dream is to experience true awakening. Basho also created some poems that have been seemingly overly analyzed by many scholars. The poem regarding the Rose of Sharon is one of those that is often misinterpreted through overanalysis. The rose of Sharon by the roadside was eaten by the horse. This poem must be scratched for its barest meaning. It shows that when something is unimportant to God, a general term for the main force of the belief, it is nothing, no matter how grand of meaning it may hold in the material world. The beauty of the flower does not stop the horse from eating it. Aesthetics do not constitute meaning. They are the opposite. They are shallow, without depth, material. The key, though, is to know the haiku does not define God or what it is to matter. It holds one simple meaning. If the flower had not made itself visible, it would not have been eaten, and therefore it teaches a lesson of humbleness. If one is not humble, how could one reach a revolution? It would not be possible because there would be too much attention focused on the self. Again, Basho's direct use of Buddhist ideas in the most simplistic manner. Sparrow, my friend, oh, do not eat the bees that hover o'er the flowers. This poem harbors a few Buddhist ideals, including the equality of all, as well as the concept of nonviolence. Basho stresses in much of his poetry the need to diminish the diluted idea that humans are above animals, that they do not follow the same doctrines or have to live by the same rules. This is derived from the Buddhist idea that everything is essentially one, or cut from the same cloth, and will again be woven back together. Basho was also a strong advocate of nonviolence. This is not only due to his Zen Buddhist beliefs, but also because he thought it was simply out of the natural order. Why kill? Not all of Basho's poems were three-line haikus. He wrote prose, kept journals, and also was quite famous for his full-length poetry. An example of one is, when from the skies that winter shrouds, the blossoms flutter round my head. Surely the spring its light must shed on lands that lie beyond the clouds. I've seen the flowers bloom and fade, I have heard out the cuckoo's note. Neither in this world is there aught, nor in the next, to make me sad. This beautiful poem is expressing Basho's view of death. He is not afraid of the end of his life, nor what will come after he has passed. The winter does not mean there will be no spring. Just because his accumulative desire will not always take on this form does not mean that he will vanish. Basho believes that all is always a part of life, and there can be no great change between living and death because they are essentially one, like one droplet from a flowing river. Once liberation is achieved, the droplet is reunited with the river, and they are still as one flow. It is this all-encompassing style that Basho created that made his haiku so powerful. He came from being the son of a samurai, to the page of a ruler, to the student of a Zen Buddhist, to a Buddhist priest, and finally to an infamous poet who delicately revolutionized the world of haiku. His life is a representation of who he became, and his poems represent his impeccable insight into the concepts of Zen Buddhism. His journeys brought him a new world of nature and diversity. Basho's tale is one of a man seeking his path in life and finding the single life in everything along his path.